Have you ever found yourself trying to control every little detail of your life, only to feel more stressed and anxious? What if the key to a peaceful life wasn't controlling everything, but instead letting go? What if peace could come from releasing the need to manage every outcome, to let go of worry, and to simply trust that life will unfold as it's meant to? These are powerful questions that many of us are afraid to ask, yet they hold the key to mental clarity and lasting peace. In today's world, we are often taught that success, happiness, and security come from controlling our environment. We micromanage our schedules, our relationships, and even our emotions, hoping to find peace through control. But as many of us have experienced, this approach only leads to stress and frustration. This is where Buddhist wisdom comes in. Buddhism teaches us the art of letting go, releasing attachment and control to embrace acceptance, mindfulness, and inner peace. The Buddha's teachings offer us a powerful reminder that peace is found not in trying to control the world, but in learning to release our grip on it. Buddhism emphasizes the importance of detachment, mindfulness, and acceptance. It teaches us that attachment to people, outcomes, or even our own expectations is the root of suffering. When we hold on too tightly, we create stress, anxiety, and frustration. But when we practice letting go, we open ourselves to peace and clarity. This ancient wisdom has been practiced for centuries by monks, warriors, and everyday people, helping them to remain calm, focused, and grounded in the face of life's challenges. In this video, we will explore how letting go and detaching from control can transform our mental health. By embracing Buddhist principles, we can begin to free ourselves from the burden of constant control. Instead of fighting against life's uncertainties, we will learn to accept them, creating space for peace to enter. This practice of mindfulness and acceptance brings clarity to our minds and helps us navigate life with greater ease. At Son.Mindfulness, our goal is to guide you on this path toward inner peace. We share insights and practices that can help you let go of stress, fear, and anxiety, and instead cultivate a life filled with calm and clarity. If you've been feeling overwhelmed by life's pressures, this video is for you. By understanding the wisdom of letting go, you'll find the tools to live a more peaceful and balanced life. So if you're ready to let go of the need to control everything and find peace, stay with us. Let's dive deeper into how releasing control can open the door to a more fulfilling life. Continue watching as we explore the power of mindfulness and the art of letting go. Now that we've explored the importance of letting go, let's dive into the Buddhist wisdom that can guide us toward peace and clarity in our lives. Stay tuned. Part 1. Let go or be dragged. Have you ever tried to hold on to something that was hurting you, thinking that if you just clung tighter, things would get better? It's like holding a burning coal in your hand. The harder you grip it, the more it burns. But no matter how tight your grasp is, the pain never goes away. Instead, it gets worse. This is exactly what happens when we try to control situations, emotions, or outcomes that are beyond our control. The more we cling to them, the more they drag us down. In life, we often believe that holding on to control is the key to feeling secure, safe, or even powerful. We think that if we manage everything, our emotions, our relationships, our careers, we can avoid pain and discomfort. But in reality, trying to control life only leads to more suffering. The very act of clinging to things that we cannot control is what keeps us stuck. It's not the situation itself, but our attachment to it that causes us to struggle. Think about this. How often do you find yourself replaying old mistakes, overthinking a conversation, or worrying about a future you can't predict? Every time you grasp onto the past or the future, you're holding on to that burning coal. You're not giving yourself the freedom to move forward. Instead, you're letting the weight of attachment pull you deeper into discomfort. This is where Buddhist wisdom comes in. Buddhism teaches us that attachment to people, outcomes, or even our own identity, is the root of suffering. Buddha himself said, "You only lose what you cling to." The more we hold on to things, the more they slip through our fingers, leaving us with a sense of emptiness. And so, the first step to peace is learning how to let go. Letting go doesn't mean we stop caring or that we give up. It means we accept what is, without trying to force things to be different. Letting go is the key to breaking free from suffering. But what does it really mean to let go? It's not about suppressing your emotions or ignoring the reality of a situation. Letting go is about allowing things to unfold naturally, without resisting them. It's about recognizing that some things are beyond your control, and rather than fighting them, you choose to accept them. For example, imagine a time when you've experienced guilt or regret. You might have spent days, weeks, or even months thinking about how you could have done things differently. But no matter how much time you spend on that, the outcome can't be changed. You may find yourself stuck, feeling heavy and overwhelmed, unable to move on. The act of holding on to that guilt is the very thing that keeps you from finding peace. But when you choose to let go of that guilt, when you accept that you did the best you could with the knowledge you had at the time, you release the burden. The weight of that attachment lifts, and you can move forward with more peace. This is where the true power of letting go lies. It's not about suppressing or denying your feelings. It's about releasing the need to control them. It's about accepting that emotions, like all things in life, are temporary. They come and go, and the more we try to cling to them, the more they control us. But when we let go, we take back our power. Consider the example of a warrior preparing for battle. In ancient times, a warrior might have faced overwhelming odds, but they didn't win by trying to control everything around them. Instead, they trusted their training and focused on the present moment. They knew that trying to control every detail would only lead to chaos. The warrior's true strength came from their ability to let go of their fear, to surrender to the flow of the battle, and to respond with clarity and calm. You see, letting go isn't about being weak or passive. It's about embracing the unpredictability of life with open arms. It's about saying, "I trust that life will unfold as it's meant to," and allowing that trust to guide you. When you let go of the need to control every outcome, you free yourself from the constant pressure of needing everything to be perfect. And that's when real peace enters your life. So the next time you feel overwhelmed or stuck in a situation, ask yourself, what am I holding on to that is causing me pain? What do I need to let go of in order to move forward? This is a simple yet profound shift in mindset. It's not about giving up, it's about accepting the reality of what is and letting go of the things you cannot change. When you let go, you make space for new possibilities, new opportunities, and new peace. But letting go is not always easy. It requires practice, patience, and a deep trust in yourself and in life. And once you start practicing it, you'll begin to notice something incredible. Life doesn't become easier because chaos ends. It becomes easier because you stop clinging to the flame. As you learn to let go, you will notice that the weight you carry becomes lighter. You'll find yourself less anxious, less stressed, and more connected to the present moment. You won't be dragged down by the past or the future anymore. Instead, you'll be able to move forward with a calm, steady mind. And now, let's take understanding one step further. Once we begin to let go, how do we handle the emotional storms that come with life? How do we observe our thoughts and feelings without getting overwhelmed by them? Let's explore that in the next section. Observe without absorbing. Part 2. Observe without absorbing. In life, we often find ourselves caught in a whirlwind of emotions and thoughts. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when we try to manage every passing feeling or thought. This is where the practice of mindfulness comes in. Mindfulness is the ability to observe your thoughts and emotions without becoming entangled in them. It's like standing on the shore, watching the waves roll in, without getting pulled into the water. Mindfulness allows us to experience life without getting swept away by every moment. It teaches us to let go of the need to react to everything we feel and think. Instead of being driven by our emotions, we can choose to observe them with calm awareness. The challenge comes when we don't practice mindfulness. We often absorb every emotion and thought, believing that they define us. But this is where the danger lies. When we absorb every feeling, every passing thought, we lose our sense of inner peace. We become caught in a never-ending cycle of stress, anxiety, and frustration. Think of it like being stuck in a storm, constantly battered by the winds and rain, never finding a moment of calm. But what if, instead of fighting the storm, we learn to just observe it? What if we could remain calm in the chaos? To illustrate this, imagine a storm passing through the sky. The storm might be fierce, with dark clouds and intense wind, but the sky itself remains unchanged. The sky doesn't fight the storm, and it doesn't try to control it. It simply holds space for the storm to pass, knowing that it too will eventually dissipate. In the same way, we can learn to observe our thoughts and emotions without getting lost in them. The storm of thoughts and emotions may be loud and overwhelming, but we don't have to become part of it. We can let go of the impulse to react to everything that arises and instead create space between ourselves and our feelings. This space is where peace lives. When we absorb every thought and emotion, we create turmoil within ourselves. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Social media, news, the pressures of daily life, all vying for our attention. We're constantly bombarded with information, and it's easy to get pulled in. But the more we absorb from the outside world, the less control we have over our inner peace. We begin to identify ourselves with our emotions, thinking, "I am anxious" or "I am angry," when in reality, these emotions are just passing through us. They are not who we are. They are like clouds floating across the sky, momentarily blocking the sun, but never staying forever. So, how do we practice mindfulness and begin to observe without absorbing? First, it's important to create a moment of stillness. When you feel overwhelmed, take a deep breath. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Instead of reacting, just observe the emotion. Is it anger, sadness, fear? Notice where it shows up in your body and simply acknowledge it. Then ask yourself, can I let go of the need to act on this feeling right now? By creating this space, you allow yourself to observe the emotion without becoming lost in it. This practice of letting go of the urge to react immediately is a powerful tool for cultivating mindfulness. Another simple exercise is to sit quietly and focus on your breath. As you breathe in and out, notice the thoughts that arise in your mind. Don't try to suppress them. Just notice them as they come and go. You might think about a conversation you had earlier, or a worry about the future. But instead of engaging with these thoughts, simply let them float away like leaves drifting down a stream. This is mindfulness in action, observing without absorbing. A powerful example of mindfulness comes from the story of the Buddha's great disciple, Ananda. One day, Ananda was walking with the Buddha when they were caught in a fierce storm. The rain was pouring, the winds were howling, and Ananda was terrified. But the Buddha remained calm, walking through the storm without a hint of fear. When Ananda asked him how he remained so calm, the Buddha simply replied, "The storm is outside of me. Inside, I remain untouched." The Buddha didn't absorb the chaos around him. He observed it with stillness and peace, and by doing so, he was able to remain centered, no matter the external circumstances. The key takeaway here is that mindfulness allows us to stay centered in the midst of life's storms. By practicing mindfulness, we create space between ourselves and our emotions. We stop absorbing every feeling and thought that comes our way. Instead of reacting out of fear or anger, we observe with clarity, and that allows us to respond from a place of wisdom and peace. This practice is essential for cultivating inner peace and mental strength. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed by your emotions, take a deep breath and pause. Ask yourself, can I observe this emotion without absorbing it? By practicing this mindfulness, you'll discover that peace doesn't come from controlling your emotions, but from observing them without reacting. This is the true power of letting go. The ability to let your emotions come and go without becoming attached to them. As we learn to observe without absorbing, we create space for peace to enter our lives. We stop allowing the chaos of the world to define us. We stop being dragged down by every passing storm. Instead, we become like the sky, calm, steady, and unchanged. Now that we've explored the power of observing without absorbing, let's take this idea one step further. How do we care deeply for others without losing ourselves in the process? In the next section, we'll dive into the practice of caring deeply, but not widely. We'll explore how to preserve your energy and focus on what truly matters. As we begin to practice mindfulness and observe our emotions without absorbing them, we create more space for peace. But as we care for others, we must learn to set boundaries and focus on what truly nourishes us. Let's explore this idea in the next section. Care deeply, but not widely. Part 3. Care deeply, but not widely. In today's fast-paced world, we are often told to care about everything and everyone. We want to be kind, supportive, and available to others. However, caring for everything at once can lead to burnout. It's like a candle trying to light every room in a mansion. Eventually, the candle's flame burns out. The more we try to care for everything, the less impact our care has. Letting go of the need to take on everything helps us protect our energy and focus on what truly matters. Buddhism teaches us to care deeply, but with intention. Compassion, according to Buddha, is not about giving everything to everyone. It's about knowing what deserves our energy and love. By focusing on what aligns with our values, we can give our best energy without spreading ourselves too thin. The practice of letting go of unnecessary responsibilities allows us to maintain balance. Imagine a candle in a large mansion, trying to light every room. The more it tries, the less light it gives. But if the candle focuses on lighting just one room, its flame will burn brighter. This is how we should approach caring, by narrowing our focus and directing our energy toward what truly matters. In Buddhism, there's a simple teaching: you cannot pour from an empty cup. We must first take care of ourselves before caring for others. Setting boundaries is essential for maintaining peace and energy. Boundaries are not about shutting others out, but about protecting our well-being. By knowing when to say no and when to prioritize, we ensure that we have enough to give to what matters most. A wise monk once said, "I know what is mine to carry and what is not." This clarity allowed him to focus on his true purpose, without being overwhelmed by every demand. He cared deeply for what mattered most, and in doing so, maintained his peace and energy. Consider the story of a mother who tried to juggle family, work, and personal life. She found herself drained, caring for everyone without taking time for herself. It wasn't until she began to set boundaries, asking for help and saying no when needed, that she found peace. By letting go of unnecessary obligations, she was able to focus on what truly nourished her. To practice this, start by evaluating where your energy is going. Are you caring for everything, leaving little for yourself? Letting go of the pressure to take on too much can help you refocus on what really matters. By setting boundaries and being intentional with your care, you'll preserve your energy for what's most important. True peace comes from directing our care toward what nourishes us, not from trying to fix everything. When we focus on what truly matters, we can give our best without losing ourselves. By letting go of the need to care for everything, we create space for peace and purpose. As we learn to care deeply but not widely, we must also explore the freedom that comes from non-attachment. In the next section, we'll look at how letting go of attachment can bring us even greater peace and strength. By caring deeply but not widely, we conserve our energy for what matters most. But true peace also comes from letting go of attachment to outcomes. Let's explore this freedom in the next section, the freedom of non-attachment. Part 4. The freedom of non-attachment. In Buddhist philosophy, non-attachment doesn't mean detachment or indifference. It doesn't mean you stop caring or that you shut yourself off from the world. Non-attachment is about holding things lightly, allowing life to unfold without trying to control every outcome. It's the freedom to live fully without being bound by the need to possess, control, or cling to people, objects, or even our own expectations. Non-attachment allows us to experience life as it is, not as we think it should be. This is the essence of letting go. Buddha taught that the root of all suffering is attachment. When we attach ourselves to people, outcomes, or identities, we create a source of suffering. Why? Because these things are constantly changing, and when they change or disappear, we feel pain. Our attachment creates expectations, and when those expectations are not met, we experience disappointment and frustration. This attachment to permanence in an impermanent world is what causes suffering. Consider how we often tie our happiness to things that are beyond our control. A perfect relationship, a dream job, or a specific outcome. But life is unpredictable, and when our expectations don't align with reality, we suffer. In Buddhism, letting go of rigid expectations is a practice that helps us find peace. When we release our attachment to how things should be, we open ourselves to what actually is. This doesn't mean giving up on goals or desires, but rather allowing life to unfold without forcing a specific outcome. The practice of letting go is about accepting life as it comes, and finding peace in that acceptance. How do we practice non-attachment in everyday life? It starts by acknowledging that our worth is not tied to our achievements or possessions. You can pursue your goals with passion and dedication, but without clinging to the result. If your goal is to write a book, for example, focus on the joy of the process, the creativity, the learning, and the growth, rather than the outcome. Whether the book is published or not, your worth doesn't depend on that single outcome. This is letting go of the need for validation and allowing yourself to be content in the journey, not just the destination. Another example is in love. When we love without attachment, we allow the relationship to flow naturally. We don't cling to the idea that the other person must love us in a certain way or that the relationship must look a certain way. Instead, we love freely, without expectations. If the relationship grows, we enjoy it. If it changes, we accept it. This is non-attachment, loving fully but without forcing the relationship to fit our expectations. We practice letting go of control, and in doing so, we experience deeper connection and peace. A powerful story comes from the life of the great Zen master, Thich Nhat Hanh. He once shared a story about a time when he was in Vietnam during the war. His monastery was threatened with destruction, and he had to leave. Despite the loss of his home and the community he loved, Thich Nhat Hanh practiced non-attachment. He let go of his attachment to the monastery and allowed himself to move forward, knowing that nothing in life is permanent. This acceptance and letting go of attachment to the past gave him the freedom to continue his work and his mission of peace. Through non-attachment, he found peace in the midst of chaos. Non-attachment is not about resignation. It's about trusting the flow of life and knowing that things will unfold as they are meant to. When we practice non-attachment, we let go of the need to control everything, and we open ourselves to life's natural rhythm. This trust in the unfolding of life brings a sense of calm and peace that is not dependent on external circumstances. Letting go of attachment frees us to live in harmony with life, without the constant stress of trying to make everything fit our expectations. So, as you move through life, practice the art of non-attachment. Let go of rigid expectations and trust that everything will unfold in its own time. When you can accept life's impermanence and let go of the need to control it, you'll experience freedom and peace like never before. In the next section, we will explore how to respond to life's challenges instead of reacting. Responding from a place of presence rather than reacting from our emotions is another powerful way to bring peace into our lives. Let's explore this in the next section. Respond, don't react. As we practice non-attachment, we create the space for peace and freedom in our lives. But true peace also comes from how we respond to life's challenges, not just how we let go of attachment. In the next section, we will discuss the power of responding rather than reacting, a crucial skill for maintaining inner calm. Part 5. Respond, don't react. In the face of life's challenges, it's easy to react without thinking. We feel anger, frustration, or fear, and we respond impulsively. But what if, instead of reacting immediately, we took a moment to pause? This pause is crucial for staying grounded and calm. By creating space between stimulus and reaction, we can respond with awareness, clarity, and wisdom. This practice of pausing is a key element of mindfulness and a powerful way to maintain peace in any situation. When we let go of the impulse to react, we open the door to more thoughtful, compassionate responses. Buddhism teaches us that our reactions are often driven by ego and fear. When we react, we are not responding from a place of calm. We are reacting from a place of defense or self-preservation. We allow our emotions to dictate our actions, and in doing so, we may say or do things we later regret. Buddha's teachings emphasize the importance of responding, not reacting. When we respond, we act from a place of presence, not from an impulsive emotional response. By practicing mindfulness, we can choose how to respond instead of being driven by automatic reactions. To understand this better, imagine a calm lake reflecting the sky. When the lake is still, it mirrors everything around it perfectly. The water is clear, and the reflection is undistorted. But when the lake is disturbed, the surface becomes choppy, and the reflection is blurry. Our minds are like this lake. When we are calm and centered, we can reflect reality clearly and respond thoughtfully. But when our emotions are stirred up, our reactions become clouded and chaotic. The key is to keep the lake of our mind calm so we can reflect and respond with clarity. The space between action and reaction is where true power lies. This space allows us to pause, take a breath, and choose how to respond. Instead of reacting in anger or fear, we can respond with understanding and compassion. When we pause, we give ourselves the time to reflect on the situation, understand our feelings, and make a wise choice. By letting go of the urge to react immediately, we gain the power to choose our responses consciously. Here's a practical exercise to help you practice pausing in stressful situations. When you feel triggered by something, whether it's an argument, a difficult situation at work, or a stressful encounter, stop for a moment. Take a deep breath. Count to 3. As you do, allow yourself to observe the feeling without attaching to it. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Can I let go of this feeling and choose how to respond? This simple pause creates the space you need to break free from automatic reactions and respond with mindfulness. Let's look at an example. A woman named Sarah used to react impulsively when her colleagues criticized her work. She would feel angry and defensive, and often her responses would escalate the situation. But after learning about mindfulness, she decided to practice pausing before reacting. The next time she was criticized, instead of snapping back, she took a deep breath and paused. In that moment, she let go of her initial reaction and responded calmly, asking questions to understand the feedback. This not only diffused the tension, but also helped her grow and improve her work. By pausing and choosing to respond, Sarah was able to handle the situation with grace and clarity. The benefits of responding rather than reacting are profound. When we let go of the need to react impulsively, we create more peaceful interactions. We become more thoughtful, compassionate, and wise in our responses. Instead of getting caught up in emotional drama, we can navigate challenges with clarity and calm. Responding with awareness helps us build stronger relationships, solve problems more effectively, and maintain our inner peace. So the next time you find yourself in a challenging situation, remember the power of the pause. Take a deep breath, count to 3, and choose how to respond. This practice will not only help you stay calm, but it will also allow you to approach life with more presence and wisdom. In doing so, you'll experience the freedom that comes from letting go of impulsive reactions. Now that we've learned about the power of responding instead of reacting, let's explore the next step, being fully present in the moment. In the next section, we'll look at how letting go of the need to fix everything and fully embracing the present moment can bring lasting peace. By learning to respond mindfully, we gain control over our reactions and create space for peace. But true peace comes when we stop waiting for life to be perfect and start fully experiencing the present moment. In the next section, we'll explore the power of being here. Part 6. The power of being here. True peace is not found in the past or the future, but in the present moment. We often spend our time either regretting what has already happened or worrying about what might come. But in doing so, we miss the beauty and peace of the present. The present moment is all we truly have, and it is where we can experience life in its fullness. When we learn to be fully present, we connect with the deeper peace that is always within us. This is where the practice of mindfulness comes in. It teaches us to let go of distractions and focus on the now. Buddhism emphasizes the importance of the present moment. The Buddha taught that our suffering often comes from dwelling on the past or fearing the future. We can't change what has already happened, and we don't know what will happen next. But we can always be present with what is happening right now. When we live fully in the present, we stop chasing after things that aren't real. We stop waiting for life to be different and start experiencing life as it truly is. By practicing mindfulness, we can let go of the constant mental chatter about what's to come or what's already gone. So how can we begin to stay present? It starts with simple practices that help anchor us in the now. One powerful technique is to focus on your breath. Take a deep breath in and notice how it feels as it enters your body. Then exhale slowly, paying attention to the release. By focusing on the breath, you bring your awareness back to the present moment, grounding yourself in the here and now. You can also tune into your physical sensations, the feeling of your feet on the ground, the warmth of the sun on your skin, or the sound of birds outside your window. These small moments can bring us back to the present and help us stay connected to the peace within. Another practice is to appreciate the small moments in life. Take time each day to notice something simple and beautiful. A smile from a stranger, a quiet moment of stillness, the scent of a flower. These moments are gifts, and when we fully appreciate them, we are reminded that peace is already within us. When we stop focusing on what's next or what we wish had happened, we allow ourselves to experience the richness of the present. A powerful story comes from a man named James, who was always busy planning for the future. He was constantly thinking about what needed to be done, and it kept him in a state of anxiety. One day, while walking through a park, he stopped to rest and noticed the beauty of the trees, the birds, and the people around him. For the first time in a long while, he let go of his worries and simply enjoyed the moment. That moment of presence brought him a deep sense of peace. And he realized that he didn't need to be constantly planning for the future to find happiness. By letting go of the need to control everything, he was able to find contentment in the now. True peace is not something we need to chase or wait for. It's already here, in the present moment. When we stop fighting against the present and start accepting it as it is, we unlock the peace that has always been inside us. The key is learning to let go of the past and future and focus on the now. As we embrace the power of being present, we begin to experience the freedom that comes with letting go of the need to control every moment. Peace is not something to be found in the future or in memories. It is here, in this moment, waiting for us to notice it. By practicing mindfulness and being fully present, we open ourselves to the peace that is always available. As we've learned, true peace is found in the present moment, and mindfulness is the key to unlocking it. Now, let's bring everything together in the conclusion to reflect on the journey we've taken. Conclusion. Thank you for joining me on this journey toward greater peace and mindfulness. We've explored some of the most powerful teachings of Buddhism that can help us live with more clarity and less stress. The core message of this journey is simple. Let go of the need to control everything, and instead, embrace the flow of life. By observing our thoughts and emotions without absorbing them, we can find calm even in chaos. By caring wisely, we protect our energy and focus on what truly matters. Non-attachment allows us to experience life as it is, without the weight of expectations. And by responding mindfully, rather than reacting impulsively, we can navigate the ups and downs of life with grace. Now, I encourage you to reflect on your own life. What are you still clinging to? Are there areas where you're holding on too tightly, believing that controlling them will bring you peace? Maybe it's a situation, a relationship, or even an old belief. Take a moment to ask yourself, what am I still trying to control, and how can I begin to let go? Releasing this attachment is not about giving up. It's about embracing the peace that comes when we stop resisting life. When you let go, you create space for new opportunities, peace, and growth. I challenge you to start small. Pick one thing in your life that you've been holding on to too tightly and practice letting go. Maybe it's a past regret, a fear of the future, or a need to control a situation. Take a deep breath and decide to release it. This is the first step in bringing mindfulness and peace into your life. Remember, the journey of letting go is a practice, not a destination. Each small step you take will lead you closer to the peace you seek. As you embark on this path, I want to leave you with a powerful quote from the Buddha. You only lose what you cling to. This simple truth can guide you through the challenges of life. By letting go of attachment, we gain freedom, peace, and joy. May you find the strength to release what no longer serves you, and may peace fill your heart. Thank you for taking the time to reflect on these teachings. I encourage you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Let's continue this journey together, supporting each other as we practice mindfulness and live with intention. Don't forget to like, subscribe, Son.Mindfulness, and share this video with others who might benefit from these lessons. Your support helps us spread these teachings to a wider audience. Wishing you all health, happiness, peace, and good fortune on your path. Stay well, stay present, and remember that peace is always within you. Thank you for supporting Son.Mindfulness.